Hey friends, it's Brittany. I am going to help you get everything for Tuesday's EdPuzzle set up. If you choose not to do an EdPuzzle and you rather just show the anticipation guide in a synchronous activity through Google Meets, then that's up to you. We wanted to provide an asynchronous development when we were putting the first couple of weeks of Virtual Academy together. So I'm going to walk you through the process of how to add it to your own Canvas and your own EdPuzzle and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to email myself or Eric. He's pretty tech savvy, so he'll be able to help as well. But I'm going to make the assumption that you are using the EdPuzzle now and show you what you need to do. Okay, first step is when on the lesson plans, click on EdPuzzle link under the asynchronous activities column. You'll be sent and it will look like you have access to my EdPuzzle. At this point, you don't. The only thing you have is to share. So what you'll need to do is click log in. If you have not set up an account with EdPuzzle before, you'll just need to sign up and say I'm a teacher because you are an awesome teacher. Sign in with Google, click your Google account with FISD. Now I already have an EdPuzzle account, so it automatically logged me in. If you don't have an EdPuzzle account, you'll have a few more steps, like you'll need to choose your campus. So I just chose Moss, and then you'll need to choose what you teach, and I just chose middle school English. And then it will take you to your EdPuzzle homepage. Hopefully it will take you directly to this. If not, you'll be logged into EdPuzzle now, so you can just go back and click on this link and it should take you there. So now that you have the TSG anticipation guide pulled up, all you're going to do, it's super easy, is click duplicate, and it will automatically move it to your content so you have a copy, so you get all of your kiddos' responses instead of me getting all of them. I really appreciate you doing this. If for some reason I get a random student, I'll just forward it on to you, unless everybody is sending me theirs, and then I will probably just not look at them at all. So the next thing you need to do is you have it in your content. Okay, so say I didn't already have this here, I have it in my content, that's the only thing I have, that's great. I copied it over, I did the first step. The second step would be, how am I going to get this to my students? Well, just like any other program, you are going to set up a class. So I already have mine set up, but I will do a test class for you guys. Right now, EdPuzzle is able to be an app on Canvas, but our administrators have not approved it. I emailed them, but they're quite overwhelmed with all this e-learning, so I don't know if I'm going to get a response. So here's the video to kind of work around the whole EdPuzzle not being in Canvas for us quite yet. If it does end up being in Canvas and you figure it out, give yourself a pat on the back. If not, then this is the workaround. So here I just labeled it test class. You can label it whatever you want. I personally like to have all of my GT classes in one EdPuzzle class. I know some people like to have their first period and third period different, whatever works for you. I do recommend setting up the classic class type, just because once the kids put in your class code, they'll only need it that one time, and then anytime they go to EdPuzzle, they can click on their ILA class and complete the assignments that are assigned there. If for some reason you do want to do the open one, no judgment. This is for classes that are going to provide a new code every time. If that's you, go for it. I prefer classic because it just does give us a little bit more data. So we'll create the class. And the thing I need you to do is invite students, because I need you to get this code. This code, if you copied over the Canvas course, the Virtual Academy Canvas course, if you go to assignments and then the TSG anticipation guide, this is the code you not only need to provide your students during the instructions in your synchronous learning when you have them on your webcam, but I would also put it there just so they have a second place to have it. So you'll input it there. If you want to change my instructions because it sounds too much like Brittany's voice or there's typos, go for it. Then after that, they will not need to turn anything in on Canvas. We're just going to trust that they did it in Canvas. If you do want them to turn something in on Canvas, it's a simple thing to do. Like I said, we cannot use the external tool for EdPuzzle at this time, just because our administrators, the technology administrators haven't allowed us to, but a good way to check if they did it both in EdPuzzle and in Canvas would be to select online text entry, and then they can just write done in the text entry box. But I kind of like a one-stop shop, and unfortunately Canvas can't be a one-stop shop for this activity, so we'll just use EdPuzzle as our one-stop shop. And so I'll put no submission, and then you'll be able to look at all of the data for each of the EdPuzzles you have. Next week we'll be doing symbolism, but you'll see, you can see individual students' responses as well as questions, and you'll be able to collect data from there. If you have any questions, let me know. The most important thing is to make a copy in your EdPuzzle account of the TSG anticipation guide, so I'm not getting the students' responses, and then also provide that class code to your students so that it enrolls them, and then that will make the process for next week's EdPuzzle a little bit easier. Again, if you have any questions, email me. I stay pretty on top of my email. If you prefer, like the way I explained it didn't make sense, I'm sure Eric will be able to help you as well. You can email him as well. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing. I just figured all of EdPuzzle out today, so it's a pretty simple, straightforward program. We won't be using it too much longer because we're going to switch over to Nearpod, which does the same thing once they update our licenses through FISD. Cool beans. See you later.